Freddy Krueger, the main villain of the Nightmare on Elm Street series, is one of the most popular horror movie characters of all time. So, imagine if you were next on Freddy's hit list. What could you do to protect yourself to survive this nightmarish villain? In today's video, we're going to be teaching you how to survive an altercation with this dream demon. First off is obvious. Don't fall asleep. Stay awake. That's all you gotta do to survive in a Nightmare on Elm Street. Keep those eyes open in the real world, and that knife-fingered child murderer Freddy Krueger might just stay away. Let those peepers close, though, and there's no guaranteeing you won't be sprayed all over the ceiling in a blood volcano like poor Glenn was in the original movie. You getting sleepy yet? No yawning allowed. In the original A Nightmare on Elm Street, Nancy starts relying on caffeine to keep herself awake. Downing endless coffee and taking pills, she bravely turns the jitters into anti-Freddy fuel. And it works. After all, we've all been up at 3 a.m. staring at the ceiling and obsessing over the minutia of the day after accidentally drinking 2 espressos at 4 o'clock. Next is to control your sleep. A person can only hold off from falling asleep for so long. Eventually, you're gonna have to give in to your body's requirements and collapse from that lack of sleep. So if that does happen, you'll be completely defenseless against whatever Freddy's got in store for you in your dreams. To prevent this from happening, you can prepare a few things in advance that'll increase your chances of still waking up in one piece. Sleeping for short periods of times or sleeping in groups are 2 ways that could work. Bringing science into the mix, the human brain only starts dreaming during the rapid eye movement, or REM for short, stage of sleep. This usually happens around an hour or an hour and a half after the person falls asleep. Rather than sleeping for long periods of time, you can instead take short naps every now and then to make sure you don't start dreaming and end up unintentionally inviting Freddy into your mind. Another method is to sleep in groups. You can significantly increase the chances of surviving the night if you have a group of friends to help fight off that, again, dream demon. There's always strength in numbers, though. And even if your group finds itself to be completely powerless against Freddy, then instead of trying to take him out, you'll just have to make sure you manage to survive the night, even if some of your friends don't. It's like they say, if you and your friends are being chased by a bear, you don't need to outrun the bear. You just need to outrun your friends and to face your fears. The most direct route is to choose to not believe in Freddy Krueger. Since the dream demon gets their power directly from fear, taking the fear out of the equation makes him have no effect on you. Now, as long as no one else remembers any myths about him and no kids sing any songs about him, you'll be good to go. But the thing is, though, you really gotta mean it. Nancy turns away from Freddy Krueger, taking an action that she doesn't believe that he's alive, and it doesn't really work as well for Debbie Stevens, who takes no action against him. While she's lifting weights, she struggles with the very weight of his reality. And even though she says, "I don't believe in you," Freddy manages to trap her in her own Roach Motel hell. So if you're gonna try and push the weight of Freddy Krueger off you, do it with conviction. Say it like you mean it and mean it while you're at it. Next is a true love's kiss. Is it getting hot in here, or did someone set Freddy's boiler room on fire again? If you're feeling brave, you can always fall in love with this host body in the real world. Actually, that really won't be that easy, of course. When he was possessing Jesse, he thought he was in complete control. Even then, it was still his body, and they fought for control of it. Lisa, Jesse's girlfriend, she was ready to do anything to save him, and was even brave enough to kiss Freddy Krueger's mangled face in order to get through to him. We give her mad props for that. Lisa's true love gave Jesse the focus he needed to take control over his body again, and for just a moment, he used Freddy's power to start a fire against him. Back in control, he burned Freddy Krueger to death. It's a team effort, though. Death by fire and the power of love. Though personally, we'd rather not bring our mouths anywhere close to this. That guy's got a face not even a mother could love. And then the power of the Lord. Since he's a demon, it's obvious to assume that Freddy would be weak to divine powers. With the power of God and balls of steel, you might just stand a chance of putting this entity down for good. Turns out that Freddy's body was never buried in holy ground, so he could still use his demonic abilities. Neil Gordon worked pretty hard for this one. He had to find Freddy Krueger's actual bones and then bury him on holy ground. We don't think we know where the nearest holy ground is, but that seems like it could just be anywhere near a church, and that'd be fine. And you'll want to be at a church so you can also get some holy water, of course. Holy water and a cross on his bones should mostly do the trick to get rid of this dreaming demon, but if you do want to be sure, stabbing him with his own gloves will sure do a good bit of damage. So follow Nancy's lead and fight back against evil. This is also the only known method to make Freddy Krueger become a disco ball. Michael Jackson will be so proud. Up next, perform a ritual. Evil is often intertwined with prophecies. Freddy Krueger is no exception. In fact, one of the ways you can kill him is to complete the very prophecy that he's a part of. And this is a death unlike any others he's ever had. Alice recalls an old nursery rhyme called The Dream Master and recites its verse in order to defeat Freddy. She shouts out, "Evil will see itself and it will die." She then proceeds to flash a mirror his face and show him his reflection. And at that moment, Freddy Krueger is confronted with all of the evil that he's done, all the souls that he's stolen, all the fear that he's consumed. And at that moment, they all escape from his grasp and tear his body apart, killing him and freeing themselves. Getting killed by the very souls that you'd consumed is actually the perfect way for someone like him to go out. Revenge is a dish best served cold, after all. These one-liners are great. Next is to give birth. It's really about the father-son relationship here. Alice, as a survivor from the previous movies, eventually becomes pregnant with Jacob, Freddy Krueger's supernatural child. Alice didn't expect this, nor did she plan it, but certainly she did adapt. Jacob even worked together with his grandmother, Amanda Krueger, to help thwart the sadistic serial killer. Jacob tricks his father, saying that he wanted them to teach him his ways of hunting. And then Jacob unleashes his newfound powers against his own father, reducing Freddy Krueger to a helpless infant as he frees the trapped souls of Alice and her friends. Amanda Krueger absorbs the very nightmare himself back into her womb and then seals him away. And it's all thanks to good parenting. Now that's one family drama we're glad we are not a part of. Lastly, bring him out into the real world. I mean, he's a dream demon. As the name suggests, he can only use his demonic supernatural abilities in your dreams. Bringing him out into the real world separates him from his source of power, and it makes him mortal again. After Freddy was arrested and murdered, his daughter Catherine Krueger was taken away by Child Protective Services and renamed Maggie Burroughs. Maggie, an intelligent and capable doctor, was helping one of the only surviving teenagers in the town of Springwood. They planned, they schemed, they tried to find any way they could to defeat Freddy Krueger once and for all. What they found was that he could only truly be defeated if he was brought into the real world and then separated from the dream demons that always bring him back to life. In a horrifying fight scene, Maggie claws him with his own gloves and stabs a pipe bomb right into his chest. Leave it to Freddy Krueger to go out with a bang. However, it's not really as simple as it sounds. The guy is still armed with his signature razor gloves and can and will use them to kill you before you have a chance to exploit his mortality. And that's a wrap for today's video. How long would you survive being hunted by Freddy Krueger? Let us know in the comment section below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one, peeps and peepettes.